All right, let's move on, because we have a lot to do, and only through a third, about not even quite half the questions. All right, number 9, you cover real estate. You're surprised to hear a new office commercial complex that will lower property values will be built in your neighborhood. Do you, A, call your buddy in the neighborhood association to get a quote, B, alert your spouse to put the house on the market, C, tell your editor that you have a conflict of interest and pass the tip on, D, write the story, there isn't a significant conflict, or E, recuse yourself from the story, then lobby the zoning board to deny the complex a permit. So, okay, we all live in the real world, we've got our jobs, what do we do?
I would say probably C, just, if you're thinking about whether it's an issue, it's probably an issue.
A good rule of thumb.
I think this is the first easy question of the lot, and with C being the obvious answer.
Okay. Mike, anything else?
Yeah,
or no?
that was it. I
Okay.
think that the question is what's significant, and you're probably not the right one to make that decision.
Good point. All right, any discussion on this one? Otherwise, we'll move on. We've got others to deal with.
I think you should be able to lobby the zoning board.
Well, maybe you do C and then lobby, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, which will be, okay. All right, 10, we'll move on. Oh, I'm sorry, results, do we have them up? Okay, C is that definitely the folks that fall into that category, and E is come up closer, so essentially it follows what the discussion was. All right, number 10. For the last 4 years, you've covered tourism. There's a high-paying PR job open at the Visitors and Convention Center. A mutual friend tells you that he hears the job is yours if you apply. Do you A, ignore the comment and keep on doing your job? B, tell your editor about the opportunity even though you might get pulled from the beat? Or C, ask how much the job pays before deciding what to do? All right, a little bit of humor thrown in there. What do we do?
I actually kind of think there's a fourth thing here. People move out of journalism all the time. I'd say, apply if you want to apply, and don't apply if you don't want to apply. I'm not sure from this how much conflict there is between that convention center and your reporting, but kind of seems like there's a fourth thing that's not up there.
Well, you
I think
covered
if you're an
tourism.
honorable person, you would feel most comfortable with B.
Has that happened to you? Did Mike or Rob, has it reported to you? Oh, look at this. Okay, we have a sense of humor here in the morning, which obviously people's economic self-interest is kicking in here. Go ahead.
I don't know that, I think C, because I think you do want to find out how interested, I think you need to determine,
That's
even
true.
through neutral
That's
sources,
true.
you determine whether the job would be worth you applying for before you take that step and go to your editor
It's true.
and apply for the job. Because if you find out that it's not an opportunity for you, then I don't think there's any need to tell your editor. But if you get to the process where you go as far as sending in your resume or making a call to the agency, then I think that's when you need to do full disclosure and probably get pulled from the beat.
Marty?
I'm Marty Welcome, I'm SBC.com, and I agree. I mean, because I think as soon as you tell your editor that's it, you're done with the beat. You can't cover tourism and then express your interest in being a booster for the tourism industry. So
Just not going to happen.
you're really sinking your career.
All right, Joe?
Jill Jordan Smith from the Arizona Daily Star. My last reporting job was covering tourism in Orlando, and this was a huge, huge issue because the guy who had the job before me had gone to work for Disney right off the beach, and I spent a lot of my time trying to convince people that I was not applying for a job at Disney, and it really hurt my credibility for a good year. So it's a really big deal.
Yeah, it is. That's a good point. Good point. Okay.
I happened to be stuck in the Las Vegas airport for 7 hours last week and bought a book called Ethics. What's it called? Ethics for the Real World. And they have a little segment that tries to get you to distinguish between an ethical question and a question about what's prudent. In this case, C would probably be prudent, but probably wouldn't be ethical.
All right. Good point.
It's a good book, by the way.
Okay, we're on now to number 11. In comments posted under one of your stories, one anonymous reader says, now, this was actually put in by one of our panelists who's not here. So I said, do I really have to do this in the morning? He said that was actually the words. He sent me the link. And another misrepresents your past stories. It claims that you have a terrible track record for accurate reporting. You A, post comments under a pseudonym attacking both readers. B, post a comment under your real name correcting misrepresentation and let the diarrhea comment pass because it's opinion. C, post comments under your real name attacking both readers with the same amount of venom. You've got to fight back. Or D, don't post any comments. The message boards are for readers and it's undignified to respond. We kind of dealt with this one earlier on. But any other thoughts on this one? Oh, there's an E, I'm sorry. There, I got into my extra point. Oh, there's an E. Encourage your friends and family to respond. If they use a pseudonym, that's fine. Okay.
One thing I wanted to add to this discussion is, in my opinion, the commenting feature does nothing so much as tell you how many people in the world are off their meds. So engaging with them just does not do much good. I mean, sometimes it can help, but I tend to be the one to hang back and let the work speak for itself.
All right, so we've got, looks like our results are in. Most folks are choosing D, which is don't post any comments, just basically don't engage on this. But, B was a close second, which is post a comment under your real name, correcting the misrepresentations, and let the rest of it pass. This happened actually in our shop. We had done one of those financial makeovers, and a young woman had gotten herself into a lot of trouble with debt. We had done the financial planners and gotten the remedies and such. And the comments afterwards were pretty vitriolic about, how irresponsible he was, and it was really borderline, because unfortunately our site allows anonymous posting, as most of them do. And what happened is that the writer, the columnist, under her name, posted a comment to the world that said, look, this person, to her credit, was willing to go public and is trying to clean up her situation. And the woman did too, basically. She sort of defended herself on these boards. So it got a little ugly at that point, but in that point it seemed like the right thing was to at least set these folks straight. At least she was trying to clean up her debt mess.
I'll say again, we allow readers to comment on our stories to promote interactivity. And why stop there? I mean, be prudent about it. Don't get down on someone's low level and engage them, talking about warm diarrhea or something like that. But if they misrepresent your stories, why not go one step further in the name of promoting interactivity and engage them on a responsible level?
Okay. All right, a few comments from the audience, and we'll move on. Go ahead, Marty, and then we'll go here.
We talked a little bit about this earlier. We certainly don't approve every comment that goes up. We have various methods that are meant to try and improve the conversation. But increasingly coming to the conclusion that the best way to raise the level of conversation is to use your real name and to not necessarily that you engage every time. But what I would love to see is for us to get more readers out there to use their real names, because it's just way too much anonymous comment. I think that encourages that pinhead phenomenon.
I noticed folks have come in from late. You come down front, or if you don't want to sit in front, grab one of the clickers and bring it back with you. You can vote along and participate. Go here and then there, and then we'll move on.
I think that the writer can benefit from comments and also set the tone of the comments if you engage the readers. There have been times when, because our editing has gotten so thin when we're in such a hurry, where readers have caught errors or typos or just little things, and by commenting, it's, saved you from something getting into print. And also, I think if you say, don't just spout opinion, give me some facts. There have been stories where people say, this guy's a crook, and, I didn't have any evidence that the guy was a crook, but down the road, somebody gives me a tip that, yeah, the guy is a crook, and that leads to another story tip that I can use for a follow-up story. So I've had cases where reader engagement has really benefited my reporting and writing.
Yeah, this time there's obviously a personal attack involved.
What
Sharon, you go ahead.
Well, what about if your story's been whacked and a commenter calls into question something that you had answered well in your original version? How would you feel about going back in and kind of restoring something that was cut and thus answering the person's question?
I had something similar to this just recently. I wrote a column about a piece of Susie Orman's advice, and the headline said, "Why Susie is Wrong Again." I have never taken Susie on. I've never criticized her before. The headline was referring to other writers' pieces, and of course all the Susie defenders piled on, all the Susie haters piled on, and I did engage that time just to say, and I did get MSN to change the headline, but to say, look, I'm not a Susie hater. I'm taking this piece of her advice, I'm taking a different position on it, because I did feel it was important to engage.
I'm getting signals that we have to move on because we're getting through. Oh, we're done already? Come on. Wow. We got a late start, though. We got a late start. We have to move on. Okay, what's our next session? Sharon, go ahead.